Hey PJs, glad to see you snuggling back into another video. Today I am reviewing Momo slimes. I know I review her quite often, but I really enjoy her slimes and I know you guys like seeing them as well. Besides the slimes, I was sent this little bag of extras, which included her business card, which I always love. I'm not really a fan of warm colors, but I like the way they look with her shop, and it just reminds me of a sunset, which is always really pretty. And besides the business card, I was also sent borax and 2 pieces of candy. I purchased 3 slimes. They all come in these clear screw top lid containers with her slime shop logo on the top and the slime name on the side. Starting off with the first one, we have Cherry Blossom Frappe, which is a DIY butter snow fizz scented like cherry blossom. It comes with a pink base that is a wood glue snow fizz, a clay whipped cream, an ounce and a half of a clear syrup slime, some petal phemos, and a charm. For this slime in particular, none of the add-ins except for the clay whipped cream were labeled, so I would always recommend labeling them just in case they get mixed around in transit so everyone knows which add-ins go with what slimes. Sometimes people purchase slimes that have very similar add-ins, and that's just a very nitpicky detail. The base for this slime was extremely packed, which I enjoyed a lot because obviously it's going to have clay added to the top, so it was a little hard to stretch, but the crunchiness was so awesome. It was definitely on point. I really enjoyed putting this slime together. There were so many components to it. It's definitely one of the most complex DIYs I've ever done. Yes, I was struggling opening this container. I think the little end part that usually gets it open was broken, so I half struggled with that one. And yeah, so anyway, it was a very complex DIY, which I really enjoyed because it took me a good 5 minutes to put this together and make it look how I wanted it to, which made the whole process a lot more fun in my opinion. Just as an added side note, the 1.5 ounce syrup slime that I added to the top is definitely a different color from what it was pictured online. At first I didn't really notice it, but when I started mixing it, I could have sworn that when I saw it online it was a lot deeper of a pink when it was mixed together, and mine turned out to be like a very diluted light pink. So I did go look, and it's definitely a darker pink, so I'm not sure if the color changed during transit. Maybe she changed the recipe, I'm not sure, but it's definitely different from the picture. Once the clay fully mixed in, it was definitely a butter snow fizz, but what was really cool about this one, since it was such a packed snow fizz before the clay was added in, it was still really crunchy. None of the crunchiness was diluted. That's usually the problem I have with slimes that are DIY clay and have a crunchy feature to it. The crunchiness is really taken away because of the clay since it's so soft, but with this one it didn't leave at all, so it had the poofiness of the clay while still being extremely crunchy, and I am obsessed. You'll also see that it inflates over 3 times its size, which is another added bonus, and the tackiness was completely minimal even at max poof. I was so impressed with this one. This is why I love Momo slime so much. She has really taken care of her textures, she knows what she's doing, and her ideas are so on point and very cute. This slime is scented like cherry blossom, but to me it smells like a sweet peach scent. I have gotten this scent before with a different slime from Rotom Slime, and it smelled like peach to me too, so I don't know if it's just me, but that's what it smells like. I am beyond obsessed with this one. It gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. Next up is Fairy Jelly Pudding. This is a coated jelly slime with a periwinkle base. It is scented elderflower and berries and apples. It comes with a butterfly charm, hollow butterflies, and flower phemos. The first thing I gotta say about this slime is how gorgeous it is. I love this periwinkle color. It's almost a bluish periwinkle, which is slowly becoming a really favorite color of mine. It just looks so good, especially in clear-based slimes like this one. Paired with the blue and white flowers, it is perfect. And talking about the flowers, how cute are they? I don't know where they got these from, but they're like really soft decorative flowers, and I've never seen anyone use them in slime before, but it's a really good idea because they look really cute in the slime. I thought the texture for this one was beyond perfect. It's a coated jelly, which basically means it's a jelly slime that was coated. If you don't know what coated slimes are, they're usually slimes that have some type of add-in them. I've heard multiple different ways to make them, but what the add-in does is make a slime non-tacky and pretty much leave minimal to no residue on your hands, even when it inflates. And when you do that coated type thing to jelly slimes, they become really jiggly and soft, and it's just like one of the greatest textures ever created. I love them. This texture in particular is very dense and smooth. It just kind of freely flows with my hands. That's a weird kind of way to describe a slime, but that's kind of what it's like. It's just extremely easy to work with, inflates so much, and the bubble pops are perfect. This slime did need some activator. That's pretty common with slimes that have instant snow. Sometimes they can melt when they're played with, but after I activated it, it was the perfect texture. Even when inflated, just like the last one, there was no tackiness. Of course, this is more of a runny slime, so I would recommend just playing with it on a table, but you can hold it because it doesn't really stick, or at least it didn't stick to me. Because of the add-ins and the color, this was one of those slimes that gave me a mental picture. It reminds me of like a pond that sparkles in sunlight. I don't know if anyone else sees that, but it paints a very beautiful picture in my mind. I don't know what elderflowers are supposed to smell like, but to me, this slime smelled like Vaseline and apples. It's a really weird scent, but I grew to like it. Once again, this one gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. Last but not least, this is Strawberry Meringue Cake, which is a DIY clay slime scented strawberry sugar cookies. It comes with a white glossy base, 5 clay cookies, some strawberry phemos, and a cake charm. The first thing that I noticed about this slime, and I'm sure you guys noticed it already, is that the base isn't white. This was definitely a light pink base, which I personally didn't mind. I think it would have looked beautiful either way. I loved the base for this one. It was very chubby and jiggly and glossy. It's one of my favorite textures. I mention it all the time. This is like one of those new textures that like within the past like half year has become really popular with some slime shops. And I love it so much because the bubble pops are amazing and I love jiggling it. It's so fun. When I saw this slime on Instagram, I knew I needed it immediately. I love Momo Slime's strawberry slimes. They are so perfect and I always love the scent on them, but I'm also obsessed with meringue cookies. They're so good. I know it's just egg whites and sugar, but it is so good. I love the crunchiness to them, and these look exactly like meringue cookies. They are adorable. I thought this would be the perfect clay slime, and I was correct. I love this one. I was also really interested to see how this slime would turn out after mixing the clay in, because these clay pieces aren't as big as most clay creations for DIY clay slimes, so I wanted to see how the texture would be if less clay was added. And again, I made a good decision because the less clay with this type of base definitely kept that bubble pop jiggliness type of base that I really like while making it smooth and inflatable because of the clay. Also, mixing the clay in was really satisfying. The clay was super smooth. Some of it took a little while to mix in, and some of it mixed in really easily. And because it's more of a thinner, runny type base, you could really feel the difference between textures. If you like making bubble pops and want a slime that can create them really easily, this one would be perfect. It was so easy to make bubble pops, and you could make them in any which way you wanted, whether you wanted to poke the slime, inflate it, or just mess around with it on the table. It would make bubble pops no matter what you did. I've tried quite a few strawberry themed slimes from this shop, and most of them do smell quite similar. Maybe a little bit of difference here and there. Some smell sweeter than others, but this one smelled just like the kind of strawberry scent that I'm used to from this shop, which smells like really sweet strawberries and slightly like grass. I might be the only one that smells that, but I really smell grass. And for a third time giving this review a perfect score, this one gets 5 out of 5 pajamas. With that, that is the end of this review, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on Momo slimes, whether you want to see more from them, what your experience was, and all that stuff, because I have become really obsessed. If you made it this far, comment down below what type of slime texture is your favorite. Mine is probably one of the ones you saw in this video. I honestly couldn't pick a favorite. But anyways, I am signing off, and I will see you guys in the next one.